All right, this is going to serve as a director's overview of the new changes to our director position. So first of all, ATEM ME4, which basically means we have 4 independent switchers. These buttons up top here switch between all 4 MEs. Right now we are only using MEs 1 and 2, so side screens in broadcast. On the stage, on the multi-view in front of us here, we have the ME2, so this is broadcast. All of this is broadcast. What we're sending, what you've got previewed, the 7 camera inputs, and CG1. Over on this side, we've got what's going to broadcast with an audio meter, and then over here we've got what we're sending to screens, and then a bunch of inputs from CG1, CG2, CG3, what we're sending to the center screen, and that's going to be for the future. So over here, most of the time you're going to be operating on broadcast, and here we are switching what is being fed to broadcast. So you can preview and cut, or you can just direct tune here, and this only affects broadcast. If we want to change what's going to CG, or excuse me, if what we're wanting to change what goes to the screens, we go over here and click this. We have a lot of transitions, and we want to make sure those go smooth, and clicking back and forth between these and making sure everything's selected gets a little complicated. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and created a bunch of macros and put them onto Streamdeck, and Streamdeck allows us to control both the ATEM and Pro Presenter. So I am going to walk you through the Streamdeck next. So Streamdeck, this configuration, we're going to try to keep it the same as much as possible, but basically what we've got here is we've got a couple pages of different things, but most of the time your left one here is going to be on main, which is basically firing all of our normal weekend commands. On the second screen here, I'm going to suggest that we live on ME1 screens, so this is basically the control surface over here when you're clicked on this, over here for direct tuning and keying different things in. So over here, we're going to leave this on ME2. This is going to say ME1, and you can see here we can choose sending cam 1 to screens, cam 2 to screens, cam 3, cam 4. So we can switch what's going. All the cameras we mainly need to go to the side screens are right here, and then we've also got our computers. We can also select whatever's going to broadcast. We can just send right away to the side screens. Kind of an emergency. And then this purple guy up here is downstream key 1 for parent call. This only goes to the side screens. And then up top, these yellow ones here, key 1, and these are toggles. So you can key 1, 2, and 3. 3 we're actually not using right now. It's actually just a duplicate of this, but we are using that downstream key for parent call from CG3. So right here, if I click this, what we see on the side screens is now the camera. If I click CG3, then side screens changes there. So this right-hand one, when it says ME1 screens, this is only sending these things directly to the screens. Next up, the left one with main selected is going to be where we fire all of our main transitions and programs and things like that. So check this out. So on the left one here, we've got main selected, and then we've got a couple different things around the bottom. There's some different colors, and let me explain all of that. So in a typical weekend, we will start with CG3 to all and the 9 a.m. countdown timer on. What that just did is it just set the side screens and broadcast to show CG3, and then it started the countdown timer for 9 o'clock, selected this green box so that the green's getting keyed out through the keyer, and put key 2 on both side screens and broadcast. So the next thing after that, so once we've got that going, we're good. We've got a countdown timer happening on stage display, and next thing is we are going to play the weekend pre-show host stuff. So what we're going to do, that's going to be on CG1, and so when we count down and producer says go video, we hit CG1 to all, which selects CG1 on these side screens and broadcast. It takes out all of the keys from CG2, and then the graphics op will play the video, and that'll be going on there. So the video's coming to a close, and next up we've got the preview song. So we're going to think to ourselves, okay, preview song, it starts with the guitar. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and preview on ME2. So I've got ME2 selected. I am going to preview camera 4, which is our close-up camera shot for guitar at the moment. And then when I hit start preview, it is going to hit the cut button. So it takes this, this camera image only to broadcast. It's going to reselect CG3 onto the screens. It's going to start song facts. It's going to stop the timer and key song facts in to side screens and broadcast. So check this out. We're going to hit start preview in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Camera 3 obviously is not on right now, but it would show up right there. We've got side screens with CG3 and then song facts on both of them and song facts started. It's going to start the relevant song right here. So no matter what you do, it's going to start the right thing. That's pretty awesome. So preview song's going. You can click and cut, or you can direct tune if you'd like. For broadcast, ME2 all day long right here. Side screens are staying the way they are. So right up after the preview song is the worship bumper. Let's continue on with that. So the preview song's coming to an end. We're going to go with that worship bumper. I didn't duplicate this button because it's just right next to it. So CG1 to all is where that worship bumper is going to come from. Song ends in 3, 2, 1. Take video. It keys the song facts out and puts CG1 on both broadcast and side screens. So that is the weekend worship bumper. So the next thing up is the worship leader. We're gonna on ME2. So I've got that selected still. I have not changed this during church here. So I'm gonna go ahead and select camera 2 as the one we're gonna come out on Brandon as he introduces this song. And as I hit start worship, what it's gonna do is it's gonna hit this cut button on ME2. It's gonna put CG1 on the side screens. And then it's going to key in key 1 to broadcast, which is going to put lyrics down there for us. So when those lyrics come up, they are on broadcast already. So we're going to go videos ending in 3, 2, 1, start worship. Now, it didn't look like anything happened there because CG1 isn't outputting anything. Camera 2 is not outputting anything. But actually, if we go over here and click one of the lyric slides here, just so you can kind of see. So now that is happening right there. So this is worship mode. So now that I'm in worship mode, I've got lyrics keyed in on key 1. I'm still selected on broadcast over here. And I can direct tune camera shots, or I can click and cut as well. And you can do whichever you prefer there, whatever the song requires. So you can do that. And you are off to the races there with worship. Now, worship's coming to an end. And next up, we've got host. We've got a whole bunch of things that happen when a host comes out. We want to take a camera to broadcast, side screens, and make sure that that name slide's ready to get keyed in. So what we're going to do is we're going to say camera 1 is going to come out on, so like let's say we're on this camera shot for the end. Camera 1 is going to come out on host. So what I'm going to say is there's a start speaking button. And so we're going to go host in 3, 2, 1, click, and that will hit that cut button on broadcast. So it takes camera 1 to broadcast, but you'll notice it's actually on broadcast and side screens, because what that macro does is it says when you hit start speaking, it's going to choose screens ME2 broadcast. So it's going to show on screen whatever broadcast is showing at the very start when you hit start speaking. Now, if I wanted to, I could say I could hit camera 1 right there so that camera 1's locked on to the side screens, and then I can go ahead on broadcast and choose any other camera I want, and ME1 and broadcast, the screens are going to stay the same, and broadcast is only going to change here. And then right after hosting's done, we're going to hit CG1 to all, and that will take us back to video mode here, or full screen graphic as well. If you're going back and forth during hosting time with a full screen graphic, I would actually probably suggest stay on, if you hit start speaking, I'd stay on this guy so that you can just choose CG1. So if I've got a full screen graphic during hosting, I'm going to just take CG1 to broadcast. And because this screens ME2 broadcast source is selected for the side screens, it is going to show both on that. Now the key is still in, but because we took a full screen graphic, it doesn't matter. So if they're taking the graphic out, 3, 2, 1, going back to camera 1, take, and we got it right there. And you can take this key in and out when you're showing broadcast, but that's only going to affect broadcast. So the shortcut way around that is this button right next to, these lights are so bright it's hard to see, says macro right here. So when I hit macro, it actually blows this thing up with a whole bunch of buttons. And some of these you'll see have the same names as the one over here, but they're not as magical because they're not starting anything with ProPresenter. But I can take key 1 on and off with macros, so on and off to both simultaneously. I probably wouldn't do that. I would just take CG1 and then coordinate with the graphics op, taking camera in 3, 2, 1, click. So then they took the graphic off, nothing gets keyed in, that's a graphic. So now that hosting session is over, and we're going to go to weekend update in 3, 2, 1, go weekend update. Again, CG1 to all, takes all the keys out and puts us back into video mode where we're watching CG1 over here on both screens and broadcast. So next up, the sermon bumper is going to play, and we're going to go back out to start speaking. I'm going to go ahead and choose camera 1 again, and when I hit start speaking, it's going to take that camera, and it's also, don't forget, it's going to send whatever you're sending to broadcast onto the side screens. And key 1 is in for both ME1 and ME2, so just heads up on that. And then we've got the cameras here. I can switch between them, which will affect both. If I want to keep camera 1 on broadcast, again, what I'll do is I'll go over here to the ME1 screens. I'll hit cam 1 or cam 2 or whichever one's the close follow. And I'm going to select whichever one that is. In this case, it's camera 1. And then I'm free on broadcast to switch between all my other cameras that way. So coming out of that, I might, at some point, I might choose to send screens, whatever I'm sending to broadcast, which again is, in this case, camera 1 at the moment. And then we're going to go to worship right after that. So we've used start speaking, and now we're going to start worship one more time. And so I'm going to say, let's come out on camera 3 for worship on this one. It's going to start with kind of a sweeping wide. We're going to go worship in 3, 2, 1. Worship is taken. CG1 only on the side screens, and then camera image with the key of the lyrics on the broadcast feed. So that is start speaking, or start worship, excuse me. And then at the very end, this is going to be what is new. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do close from here on out. Okay, so closing in the new world, we are going to close in person and online completely separately. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose whether it's camera 1 or camera 2. There's a video loaded in CG2. This is this week's video loaded here with Brian. So there's a video loaded in CG2. This audio, the sound guy's going to hit the right buttons downstairs so that only this audio goes to the broadcast. But what we're listening to is a combination of this audio and whatever's happening in the room, just because we need to pay attention to 2 things at one time. So we've got 2 buttons here. It says close video cam 1, close video cam 2. So this is going to choose whichever camera 1 or camera 2, and then play the video from CG2 on broadcast only, and it'll take out all of the keys. So when I hit close video cam 1, it's going to take cam 1 to the room and play the video and take it to CG2. So check this out. We are going to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Thanks so much for gathering with us.
Video,
Church Family Journey.
Video happening on CG2, and video happening from CG2 going to just broadcast. Camera 1 is taken in the room. They're doing a nice close follow. That's wonderful. They're finishing up, but Brian's still jabbering online. So what we're going to do is we're going to take CG1 for the song credits on screens only. So I'm going to use this right hand thing and show song facts. Let's pretend that's what that is. So CG1 is now on there, and then we've shown that for about 6 seconds. So we're going to go to CG3 on side screens, and Brian's still yammering away there. So I'm going to hit that. Now you'll notice this video ends with some slides. So there's background music, there's slides. It's Interesting. I don't know. Oh no, Brian's just still yammering. So let's just pretend. Okay, so here we go. So the slides are going. So the slides are going on that internal video playing from CG2. It's going to that and all that. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to go back to, at some point, once before this video ends and before and after we've finished in the room with everything, we're going to hit CG3 to all, which will sync up our screens again. And we're off to the races. So let me run us through that one more time and try to be a little bit more concise. Okay, so this is how we're going to do the new closing of the service. So what we'll have been on is we will have been on Start Worship here for that last worship song. So CG1 is in the room with lyrics. Camera is on broadcast with lyrics keyed in, and we're picking different cameras and whatnot as we go here. And then, but what we want to do is do the new close. So what we're going to do, instead of having a person hosting on stage that goes to both broadcast and in the room, we're going to just pick either camera 1 or camera 2, and a video is going to play. So we're just going to stop that here. So a video is going to play from CG2 just to the online audience, and you'll hear audio from both in this room because you need to pay attention to both. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to say, let's say this week camera 1 is our close follow, and so I'm going to say song's ending, okay, go close in 3, 2, 1. We close. That audio is happening. I just turned this down.
Journey. What a great word.
So this audio and video is going, and then this camera is close up following them. None of the keys are in or anything like that. It's just a close follow on that. If you did need a key, you'd switch over to ME1 or use this right-hand side Streamdeck, which is what I'd suggest, and just key in and out. So if I needed to switch between cameras 1 and 2 on the screens while this video is playing, I could certainly do that. Once the in-person host wraps up, we're going to show song facts, which is CG1. And so that song fact will show for about 6 seconds, and then we'll go to CG3, just like we normally do, except I'm selecting it on the Streamdeck instead of on the switcher. And again, this is just controlling ME1, which is the side screens. Meanwhile, this is going on, and he's jibber-jabbering all this while, and whenever he finishes, there will be, and I'll just jump into this video here real quick, there will be some slides and some background music. So at some point after the service has ended, we're going to coordinate with the producer, and we're going to switch from seeing and hearing this to seeing and hearing what's going on already in the room, which is background music and all that. So when we do that, we're just going to hit CG3 to all back on our main tab here, and to sync back up, we just hit that, and the sound guy will hit something downstairs so that the audio transitions back to just playing downstairs' music. And then we can hit this stop all CG2. This button forces, no matter what's going on, everything to go black. So if there's a countdown timer with the green screen, stop CG2 clears all of that. Now, if your key is in, so boom, like that, if you stop CG2, that actually takes the key out for you by using this. Now, if you just click clear all on here, that doesn't do the magic of controlling both this and this at the same time. So just a heads up on that.